Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about a very touchy topic, that is birth control. I never really see too many people talking about, birth control and updates on their birth control that they're taking, and I think it's really important to talk about this because I know that when I finally decided recently that I wanted to go on birth control, search on YouTube like, what birth control should I be on? What are the side effects? What are people's experiences on birth control? And I wanted it in a video format so that I can sit and listen and be like, okay, so this is what can happen, possibly, A little background on me and my menstrual cycle. I got my first period when I was in middle school, so 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly, but I think I was like probably 12 or 13. Last about 4 days, be brutal on the first day, like absolutely debilitating, like couldn't move, couldn't do anything. That is my period background. In about 2018, I actually ended up getting pregnant. I know I don't have a child. I ended up miscarrying the baby. And ever since then my period was very not regular, and it was just kind of all over the place, and it started becoming a little bit more regular, after a couple months, but it was just like not how it used to be, and like my body just wasn't how it used to be, and I guess, being pregnant changes things that goes on in your body. So yeah, that happened, and so yeah, that's like my pretty much history with my menstrual cycle. My first ever time trying birth control, I tried Loestrin. I'm pretty sure the packaging looks very familiar. I don't remember how old I was. I'm pretty sure I was in high school though, and I just wanted to take it to make my periods less intense. But what I did wrong with that and completely ruined my experience was I was really bad at taking it at the same time every single day, and just taking it every single day in general. So yeah, I really just effed up everything by, not taking them when you were supposed to take them. So if you were taking birth control pills, take it every day at the same time every single day so it works and does what it needs to do. So I basically was really bad at that, and I decided I hated birth control. I crossed it off the list, and I was like, never doing that again in my life. I'm just gonna be abstinent for the rest of my life. Haha. And then at one point I decided to try Nuva, and I had that in for a little bit. I want to say maybe like 2 weeks, and my skin broke out in like the worst cystic acne of my entire life, and I was just like, no thank you. I don't want to like go through the adjustment period with starting new birth control. I'm like, this is absolutely disgusting, and you guys know I've always struggled with my skin from the start. So being on a birth control that kind of like amplified everything was just a big no-no for me. So Nuva was X'd out of my life, and then I gave up on birth control for a very long time. Now that is when we get into the getting pregnant in 2018. I found out that I was pregnant November 2018. I found out that I had a missed miscarriage, so I didn't like miscarry it, but it basically the heart stopped beating while it was still inside me, and I found out at 12 weeks in December, right before Christmas. Merry Christmas to me. But yeah, after that I ended things with the guy that I was seeing then. And I was single for a long time, and I was like, they tried putting me, they were like, yeah, you should go on birth control so that, this doesn't happen again, because, like, of course I don't want a child at this age. And I was like, no, like, I'm single, I'm not sexually active, like, I'm not interested in putting those things in my body. Fast forward to November 2019, I met my current boyfriend, and of course sexually active now, and he was just kind of like telling me that I should be on birth control, and that like our sex life would be a lot better if I was on birth control, because it would make the whole risk of getting pregnant thing diminish quite significantly. So after a while of like going back and forth and being like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do it, oh I'm like scared to do it because birth control is like kind of scary, I finally decided to go on birth control back in August 2019. So I started off with the Depo Shot. If you don't know what the Depo Shot is, it's basically a birth control injection. It is a shot that goes either in your arm or in your butt, and it prevents pregnancy for up to 3 months, and then you basically have to go in every 3 months like clockwork, like on the dot, and get the shot every 3 months to keep up with the birth control. I was really emotional. I was really irritable. I'm reading this off my list because I did write it down for this video. I had some spotting at the beginning, and it was like really random. I think I spotted for like a couple weeks, and then it went away. If you want to know, down to the dirty details, because you know people need to know these things, my cervical mucus, Google it if you don't know what that is, completely changed. It got really dry up there, really like sticky. So yeah, your cervical mucus will change 100% once you go on birth control, no matter what birth control you're on, unless it's a non-hormonal. Obviously these are all hormonal. I had absolutely no sex drive. It really like killed my sex drive. I just like didn't want to at all. I was never in the mood. I was like disgusted by like the thought of it. And yeah, it killed my sex drive. So and then once I'm no longer on the Depo Shot, I decided that I don't want to go. I have copays with my insurance, and it's $45, and I didn't want to pay $45 every 3 months to get this birth control shot. It'll be on the 22nd. It'll be 3 months that I am on the Nexplanon. If you don't know what the Nexplanon is, it is the arm implant. You can... my armpits are definitely shaved, so. This little dot is the scar from it. It is a rod implant. It is about this, wait, okay, it is about like this long right here. It's in my arm. You probably can't see it, but I know it's there. I got the arm implant. She's in here. She did great, honestly. I didn't have any bruising when I got it in. I decided to get this one because it lasts 3 years, and I was like, why not? I changed my framing. I think I'm a fan. If I'm going to like preface all of this that I'm going to tell you in a second, I think I'm a fan. I feel pretty normal now, and it's 3 months in, so they say give it 3 months for your body to adjust to it. So I'll have like another update video in like probably another 3 months, maybe if there's something significant, or like I'll give you a little update in a vlog. First side effect that I would say is you're emotional. I was really emotional. I was like crying a lot, like a lot. I'm not the biggest crier, but I definitely don't hold back tears if I like want to cry. But it did make me really emotional. I'd have some days where I was just like sobbing all day, like super sad, just like sobbing. I'd have days where I'm like super happy, super excited for life, and like that's kind of been me my whole life, so it just kind of like amplified all of my emotions and made me feel like I was kind of going crazy, but I knew that I had to give it the 3 months to, you know, metabolize in my body. I had spotting for a solid 3 weeks. It was brown and disgusting. Brown is old blood. There was no pain or itching involved. It's completely normal to spot brown, which is old blood. When you're on birth control, the Depo Shot and the Nexplanon completely get rid of your period for most people. I don't get a period anymore. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but I don't get a period anymore, but I do spot occasionally. I spotted for 3 weeks in like the beginning, like 1.5 months. Around that time I spotted for about 3 weeks during that period, and then I was fine for a really long time, and then about a week ago I started spotting again, but it was only for a couple days, and it wasn't as heavy as like it was during those 3 weeks. It was like period, like lasting 3 weeks. So I ended up losing a lot of blood then, but I felt completely fine, like physically and stuff like that. So yeah, I did spot quite a bit with the Nexplanon, but that's also, you know, to be expected. I still had absolutely no real sex drive. I feel like, spoiler alert, I'm finally getting it back now because I actually think about doing the dirty. And it feels really good to like feel like that again, so I feel like it's because it's finally like metabolizing in my system, and like my body's getting used to it and like going back to kind of almost normal. I do sometimes feel like my ovaries hurt, and they're just like get a little sore, but I realized that it's always like when I realize that it's getting sore, that it's around the time that I normally would get my period. So it's like for a couple days, like once a month. And my last real period was August 22nd, 2019. Around that time, like the 20th to the 24th of each month, I have quite a bit of ovary soreness, and just like down there feels like sore and like as if I was about to get my period. So I still get kind of like crampy around that time of the month. So I think that's a good thing personally. I don't know what it really means. I didn't ask my doctor because I'm not like too troubled by it, but I think it's a good thing because it means that my body still knows what its natural cycle is. If you're a doctor, let me know if that's accurate at all, but That's something that I've noticed. Bloating was a thing for a while. Your body just naturally will want to retain more water when you are on birth control. And that's really what the bloating is. And like the weight gain, I haven't gained a single pound. If anything, I've lost weight. But yeah, bloating was a thing. Weight gain was definitely not for me. I know a lot of people are like scared about gaining weight, but it's really hard to gain weight. You just get more cravings, I guess. I've been eating more chocolate recently, which I never liked chocolate, but I don't know, maybe I just need more magnesium. I don't know. I also got really bad hot flashes, and I still kind of do, especially at night. I would get a lot of night sweats and hot flashes. It's kind of subsided since then. This was probably like month 2 of being on it, so like last month was definitely a lot of like hot flashes and stuff like that. I don't know if that's normal or not, but that's something that I definitely experienced. And yeah, my cervical mucus has definitely also consistently stayed pretty dry and deserty down there. That sounded disgusting. Pretty dry, pretty sticky. Basically, you know, it's just like when you're on that part of your cycle where you're just not getting wet. It's because I'm not ovulating. You get the most wet when you're ovulating, so I don't ovulate, clearly. And yeah, so, but recently, apparently, I've been told by my boyfriend that it's been getting a little more wet recently, so I don't know if that's, I don't know what's going on, but maybe. I've also been noticing it as well, so that is a plus side. But other than that, that is pretty much all I have to say about the Nexplanon. I think I'm a fan. I feel fine. I'm not pregnant. So my overall thoughts, I think I like it, and I can't say I recommend it, but if you want to give it a shot, I would say, yeah, that's the only way you're going to find out if it's good for your body. That's like the worst part about birth control, is that you can't really rely other people's experiences on like your personal outcome with that birth control. You'll never know. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's body's going to react differently to different things. So this is my story. This is how my body reacted to these birth controls. Nuva ring was a no. Depo Shot was just like too much work, honestly. Every 3 months, no thank you. And yeah, so the Nexplanon, it can stay in for 3 years. It is right under my skinny skin. So, oh, another thing, it's been itchy. It gets itchy. In the beginning, it was definitely itchy, and still sometimes, like, just where it is will get itchy. But I never will actually scratch, like, right over it. I'll go like that on the sides, but I'll never, like, rip into it, because you don't want to disrupt it too much. They say to touch it, like, every day to make sure it's still there, but, like, I know it's still there. And I think the lady did a really good job injecting it. They shoot you with like a numbing thing. They like clean the area, they numb you, and that shit hurts so bad. It's literally like getting Novocaine. It is Novocaine in your arm, but it's like getting it in your mouth. Like, it's that pain. It literally hurts so bad. And while she's injecting it, she's like pulling the needle down to, like, you know, obviously get the whole area, and it feels like your arm is absolutely on fire and going to explode. And then after that, you cannot feel a single thing. They take this little gun thing and they basically shoot it in and then position it and wrap you up, and then you can't shower for a day, which I didn't know, and I was very upset that I couldn't shower. But yeah, so it's really simple. That was my personal experience with all of the birth controls that I talked about, especially the Nexplanon, which is kind of like one of the scary ones, I would say, because it's like in your body. I remember walking up to my mom all the time and being like, it's in my arm. That is it for today's video. If you have any other questions about birth control, about the birth controls that I've talked about, or my experience or anything like that, or anything you guys want to share yourselves, leave it in the comments down below. I will be responding. And also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because it helps YouTube put out my videos so that more people can see them, and that helps me out a bunch. And also subscribe so that you can always see when I upload new videos. I love you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and have an awesome day. Bye!